Quick video. This is a Martin D35 I just picked up today from Guitar Center. I walked in there. If you've never been in a Guitar Center, they've got pretty big acoustic room, and then in the back of that, they've got another little room where they've got their higher end stuff. So I had them unlock a bunch of acoustics, played some Martins and some Taylors. They had some Guilds and Gibsons and some vintage guitars in there. Played everything from the $4,000 to $5,000 really high end Martins and Taylors. And when I picked this one up and I played that first chord, just strummed an E chord on it, it jumped out at me. It's loud, which you have to be careful with, because sometimes people associate loudness with a good sounding guitar. It's not always the case, and you tend to have a preference for things that are louder, even though they might necessarily have a better sound or a better tone. But it was definitely loud. The bass is amazing. It's very round and full, but it's not too overpowering. It has a nice balance to it. The notes are round and percussive, and then they decay right where you'd want them to. The treble is shimmery, but it's not too bright. That bass and that treble is not drowning out the mid-range. It still has a good mid-range. And the bloom, the harmonics in the notes, the overtones when you play a chord, it's just the layers of sound that comes out of this thing. It's something that you get when you pick up a good guitar and you play it, and like, oh, this is one of the good ones. There was a D18 in there that sounded okay, but it was a good guitar. I think somebody bought that, they'd be happy with it. But this one was on another level. I'd say this guitar is maybe sounded 20-30% just up there at the top. I couldn't imagine something sounding better than this. It's how I wanted it to sound in my head, and I had to pick it up. So it has been played quite a bit. It had a few little fine, marks from it being handled, and it still has like a little tiny mark here, and then it's got kind of a scuff here, but nothing through the finish. It would buff out. I don't care, because I'm going to play it. And judging by the serial number, it was made in 2020, I think. It's 254 is the serial number. So in the 254 range. So I'm going to put this down and let you see it. And actually, I'll play a couple of chords. I know this is on a phone, but I really need to mic this up and let you hear how good it sounds. Yeah, it's a good one. All right, let me show you the front and the back. And here's the case stuff. Yeah, we'll go ahead and flip it over. The neck on this guitar is really good. It's perfect size for me. It feels amazing. Just has that satiny feel to it. And it's got a really nice back, like all the D35s have. One of the other things that was interesting in the store was they had a couple pretty damaged, marked down, but I just couldn't see myself, even if they did sound good, I probably wouldn't have picked them up. Just the idea of trying to resell a guitar, like one of them, had huge, you could feel in the finish, scratches on the back. Another one had a pretty good gouge in the front. And these were like $4,000 or $5,000 guitars that they marked down. Maybe they took like $1,200 off. So tonally, they're still going to sound good, even though they have those finish flaws. So I picked those up because I wanted to try them out. I was hoping, well, maybe I'll find one that sounds really good and get a deal, But then I thought, I still don't think I would end up forking over the money for that, because if I ever did have to sell it with that amount of damage, then you're probably not going to get much for it, even if you could sell it. And frankly, they just didn't sound as good as this one. And these were like the high end, $4 or $5 grand Martins and Taylors. All right, so she's a good one. And here's the case. It's got the new contour case. And these are made by, these are TKLs. So I'm really pleased with this guy, and I'll try to do better video so you can hear the sound of it. And I gotta get used to playing it a little bit. Get my fingers used to the feel of it. It actually has been quite a while since I've spent a lot of time playing acoustic. Alright, so that is the Martin D35. It's a pretty special guitar.